Peace, family, peace. What's going on? Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom, hotep, Islam, Alafia. Happy Sunday. What's going on, family? Peace, peace, beloved. What's going on? Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, peace. Just wanted to come on real quick. See how's everyone doing. Peace, beloved. What's going on? Alright, so real quick, I was reading this book and I'm like, yo, this would be great to share with the people. I was reading this book right here and I'm like, this would be great to share with the people. You know, my podcast, real quick, my podcast is launching tomorrow. I forgot to turn on my light. My podcast is launching tomorrow, so make sure y'all support. Make sure y'all support. DTR 360 Books podcast is launching tomorrow. Where did it go? Give thanks. So I was reading and I'm like, I want to share this piece of information with the people real quick. I want to share this piece of information with the people. So I'm reading from the book. It's called African American Education in Slavery and Freedom, Self-Taught. Self-taught. So this book is about during slavery how our ancestors was able to self-teach themselves, and not only that, advocate for educational rights, advocate for funding for schools, advocate for books and resources, things of that nature. So it takes you through a journey of education post 1865, post 1865. All right, so it says here. It says despite the fact that education was not an enumerated right, African Americans continue to publicly claim it. As the delegates for the South Carolina Convention put it, whereas knowledge is power, and an educated and intelligent people can neither be held in nor reduced to slavery, we will insist upon the establishment of good schools for the thorough education of our children. All right, so as I explained many times, that our ancestors, they were very thorough. They were very determined to not only seek education for themselves, but to properly seek proper education for their children. This was the key. This was the agenda post 1865 right up to the Reconstruction era. So let's continue. Also, enumerate. Enumerate means a list of things done one by one. Okay, enumerate means a list of things done one by one. So this is what I talk about when I say that reading is good, or reading is key, but comprehension is even better. Reading is key, but comprehension is even better, because you need to make sure you comprehend, understand, overstand, and understand what you're reading. Don't just read to read, right? Most of us can read, yes, but do we comprehend and understand what we're reading? Okay, and it's okay to have a little dictionary at the side. I have one right here, right? It's okay to have a little dictionary at the side. You need a dictionary. Anytime you're reading 1-2 little words you don't know, look it up. This increases your vocabulary skills. This increases your intellect. This increases your memory. Look it up. Don't be ashamed, right? We don't know everything, and that's all right, because every day we should be striving to learn. We should be striving to improve ourselves. So, yes, we don't know all the words in a dictionary. That's fine. We may not know all the words that we're reading. That's fine. This is why you should have a dictionary right by your side anytime you're reading. So let's continue, right? So enumerate means a list of things done one by one. Okay? So right here it says African Americans were now free, but free in a land where power and resources yet rested in white hands. Now what does that mean? What does that mean? All right, family, don't forget to buy badge support. Don't forget to buy a badge. We are launching our DTR 360 Books podcast tomorrow and every Monday after that. Tomorrow and every Monday after that. We have November booked. All right, so please, if there's any authors out there, or if there's any educators, we are looking for interviews for December. We have our November month already booked. All right, so what does this sentence mean? African Americans were now free, but free in a land where power and resources yet rested in white hands. So yes, they were free. Yes, they were free to go about and do whatever they want. However, power and resources, education, things of that nature, yet rested in the hands of the Europeans, yet rested in the hands of the so-called slave masters. Okay, so yet we were free. We was able to do what we want to do, but we lacked resources, we lacked capital, we lacked funding, and so yet we still had to turn around and go right back into the very same people who enslaved us. We now had to go back and ask for their help. We had to go back and ask for their assistance. We had to go back and ask for money from the very same people who enslaved us. Okay, so we have to go back and ask for these things in order for us to properly stand on our 2 feet. Properly stand on our own 2 feet. Because, mind you, slavery was an institution. Mind you, slavery was an institution. Okay, and the reason why these Europeans, both domestically in the U.S. and internationally over in the UK and abroad, was because of our labor, our free labor that induced and gave the Europeans wealth and power. So after we was free, family, after we was free, we had nothing. After we was free, we had nothing. So let's continue. It says, as articulated in the rhetoric of Black conventions, two closely enmeshed values, enmeshed meaning interlocked or interrelated with one another, enmeshed values, self-help and self-determination figured prominently in African American strategies for becoming literate. As I said in my podcast trailer, our mission, we are on a mission right now to help increase the reading literacy primarily amongst Black people, and secondary for the world. Okay, but we are focusing on Black people first because we are worst on the list. I gave the statistic, I believe it was last week on my podcast trailer, that 15% of Black 8th graders were reading at a above or proficient level. 15% of Black 8th graders were reading proficient or above reading level. That's only 15%. And this is a national statistic. This is a national statistic. And 15% is little, it's small. So you think about all of the eighth graders, and that was fourth graders, and the eighth graders were about 45%. So that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And this tells me that they are not reading. This tells me that either they are reading, but they're not comprehending what they're reading, or two, simply they don't know how to read. They do not know how to read, because you need to be able to know how to read in order to read to learn. Okay? Let me say that again. You need to be able to learn how to read in order for you to read to learn. Okay? There's a difference. There's a difference. So that statistics tells you that we are at the bottom. And as it stands today, most of black people are illiterate. We don't like to use that word, but it's true. Most of black people of today are illiterate. They don't know how to read and write, especially our children. Especially our children. So this is a mission of mine. This is a mission of DTR 360 Books to help increase the reading literacy. To help increase the reading literacy. And I'm going to do that by my podcast, which will be launching tomorrow. I'm going to do that with my podcast, which will be launching tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via IG Live. Via IG Live. So let's continue. Freed people most often had no choice but to rely on one another. That's key. That's key. Freed people most often had no choice but to rely on one another. Southern whites rarely helped, and Northern whites were scarce. Moreover, self-help could enact self-determination. The ability to interpret laws for themselves, or to apportion fund for schools. Again, apportion. What does apportion mean? To be honest with you, I had to look it up. I had apportion. I never heard that word before, right? So I had to look it up, apportion, and I found that apportion means to divide, right? Apportion means to divide or allocate. So I'm like, aha, okay. So let's use divide in place of apportion. It will make sense, right? So it says the ability to interpret laws for themselves or to divide funds for school. You see how now you can understand the sentence better? That's comprehension skills. That's comprehension skills. Okay? Always, family, always make sure that you have a dictionary. Always make sure that you have a dictionary anytime that you're reading. There's nothing wrong with looking up words. There's nothing wrong with not knowing words, right? It's okay, because now you know what apportion means, to divide or allocate. Now you know what enmeshed means interlock with one another. All right, so these are one of the ways to increase the vocabulary. These are one reading tip that I just gave you, just off the rip. One reading tip that I just gave you, right off the rip. All right, so the ability to interpret laws for themselves, or to apportion funds for school, or to teach their own children would give them control over their lives and their communities. Let me read that again. To teach their own children will give them control over their lives and their children. That is key. That is key. All right. Malcolm X said, peace be upon him. Malcolm X said that only a fool will let his enemy teach his children. Only a fool will let his enemy teach his children. Okay? So, peace, beloved. Assalamu alaikum. So, we need to understand, as I just read, that to teach our very own can grant us control over our lives and our children's lives. Now, granted, many of us are working. Many of us have occupations, yes. But I always say, a child only educated at school is an uneducated child. A child only educated at school is an uneducated child. So after the school system have somewhat educated or miseducated rather your child, it is now your duty, mother, it is now your duty, father, to educate your child at home. To educate your child at home. I know you're tired. I know it's tough, but it gotta be done. It gotta be done. We must break the cycle. We must break the cycle. We must break the cycle. And proper education is the foundation to it all. Proper education is the foundation to it all. People talking about black wealth, black power, this and that. It won't be nothing if we can't properly read and write. It won't be nothing if our children can't properly read and write. And we talking about black power? That's not no black power. That's not no black wealth. Huh? That's not no black wealth. How can you expect to carry on a tradition or wealth if your child or children can read and write? Huh? And there's numbers to prove that. There's numbers to prove that. So as I said in my last podcast trailer, that we must be able to have a healthy appetite for education. Granted, many of us don't like education. Many of us don't even have a damn dictionary inside the household. How ludicrous is that? But you have 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of sneakers and shoes. Huh? You have jewelry. You have 2, 3 pairs of earrings. You have 2, 3 rings, bracelets, jewelry. Some of us have 2 cars. Huh? But you don't have a dictionary in your house? So, anyway, I mean, I gotta be hard on my people because we gotta do better. We must do better. We must do better. Alright, family, so listen, making sure that you support, buy a badge. Oh, also making sure that you turn on your notifications. Alright, make sure that you turn on your notifications so that you can get notified on anytime I go live or anytime I post something. Right now, not all of my people can see when what I'm posting and when I'm posting. Okay, so make sure that you hit the notification bell on my Instagram page. Make sure that you hit my notification bell on my Instagram page. All right. Also, secondly, tomorrow we are launching DTR 360 Books podcast. We are launching DTR 360 Books podcast. So support, and check out my website. We have books and resources. www.dtr360books.com. www.dtr360books.com. Check out my website. www.dtr360books.com. You can click the link in the bio. Make sure you support and buy a badge. Family, let me know if you have any questions or concerns before I depart and conclude this live. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns before I depart and conclude this live. All right, let me see. You can send the question in the question box. If you have any questions about reading, if you have any questions about helping your child or your children to learn how to read, I am a teacher, so I do have some experience, and I also teach reading as well. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns with reading. Check out my website. Buy some children books. We have children books, health books. We have spiritual books, religious books. We have all kinds of books, history books. We have everything that you would need to grow your brain. Alafia, peace. We have everything that you will need to grow your brain. Nah, beloved, no. Your 3-year-old should definitely learn how to read now. Your 3-year-old should be learning how to read now. It's never too early. It's never too early. It's never too early. Your 3-year young child should be learning how to read now. And how to do it is start to make flashcards. Make flashcards. There's going to be time, but it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. This will be time consuming, but it will pay off. Making sure that you create flashcards with words on them, right? It could be small words: to, hi, my, by, see. Every day, making sure that he see those words, and then you pronounce the word to him and make him say it, or make her say it. I'm not sure if it's a son or daughter, but make your child say it, and eventually your child will catch on. Okay, eventually your child will catch on. It's never too early. Don't think like that. It's never too early. Make sure that you do that ASAP. Make sure you do that ASAP. All right, family, it's never too early. All right, the earlier the better. The earlier the better. This will help create a foundational educational experience for your child. This will help to create a foundational experience for your child. It's never too early. All right, family. So I'm about to head out and conclude this live. Thank you for tuning in. Again, make sure that you support by a badge. Also, tomorrow is we are launching our DTR 360 Books podcast, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and buy a dictionary. Buy a dictionary if you don't already have one. You can check it out on our website. Buy a dictionary if you do not already have one. Peace, beloved. Thank you so much. Sunshine _ 1183. Give thanks, beloved. I appreciate you. Give thanks. All right, family. Thank you. Make sure that you support, because as you pour into me, I'm pouring into you, and we are growing together. We are growing and learning together. We are growing and learning together. So I thank you. I will leave you as I greeted you. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, hotep, Islam, Alafia. Peace.